9 and 19, so we could just chitty chatty. Yeah.
We're not till 6:30, is it?
6:29, 27. It is 6:29,
My watch is a
27.
little fast.
Oh, God.
You're on silent.
Yeah. And 6:29, 42.
Terry, and we would take time to say hellos and not in between the talk.
No.
So
Yeah.
we would say the hellos later on. Okay, I have to pull down the skirt and sit down in it so because I'm going to
Dark colors, Jen. Dark colors. Don't worry.
Hello. So here we are. I think it's 6:30.
Yes,
It is 6:30. So I say welcome to Connections 50 Plus Live. And this evening we again have with us our very handsome gentleman, Garth Thomas. I don't think we introduced Garth properly last week. We didn't.
Yes.
So Garth is a financial advisor among many other things. He wears many other hats. I know he's a fantastic Toastmaster, very, very high up in Toastmasters and other things among that.
Yeah.
So how would you
we-
introduce yourself?
I would introduce myself as a seeker because that's what I am. You know, the longer I live and the more I learn about the universe, is the more I realize that, you know, the information base is narrow.
Okay.
And that leads to a very narrow perspective. And that leads to some very foolish decisions.
Yeah.
So I am committed to finding out stuff. And, you know, the good book says, seek and you shall find. So I
That's a
feel
good way. I like that. Being a
that
seeker.
is, so I'm a
Yes.
seeker.
Well, I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph. I'm one of the co-creators of Connections 50 Plus.
And I am Terry Ann Joseph Rapid, the other half of Connections 50 Plus, you know?
So we are continuing that very interesting conversation of building relationships. And last week, we spoke about intimate relationships. And let me tell you that the feedback was really something else.
Very.
That's
you know?
interesting.
So what we're going to do is just continue a bit more on about intimate relationships. And then we're moving off of that topic. Not a topic really, but we're going to talk about other types of relationships at 50 plus.
Yeah.
But before I start that, I will start with you. But I got a very interesting question from one of the followers. And the question was, why are you all doing this? You making any money from this? Because no, but they actually found the conversation was so interesting. And they asked why. And I say, you know what? I thought people knew why we are here. So let me just quickly tell you, Connections 50 Plus, and as I mentioned, Terry Ann and I are the co-creators. And what we are doing here, actually we do many other programs and events, etc. And you can go on our website, we'll give you it at the end, so you can really get all the details. But basically, our live, what we are doing now, is to connect with you. Connect with the 50 Plus tribe because we care about you and we're very passionate about helping you on the different areas there.
Yes, definitely. And the thing about it is that we talk about the 3 platforms that life after the third act. We put a number 50, but the third act, life after the formal work. You've got a long life ahead of you. You've got 30 years. You have to monetize it. And a big part of what we do professionally is work with entrepreneurs as consultants to help them build their businesses, make their dreams come true. So any of you all may want to you may have an idea of what you can do with your life after. Certainly give us a call and we'll come in and help you. Okay?
Because Terry Ann is a consultant, a business consultant, and I am a financial life coach. So I do like transition, financial coaching, and a bit about energy. Right?
Yes.
So together we can do either life coaching, we can do all the different, but the main thing is to help you really enter into that
And be happy.
and be happy. Okay, so that's why we are here.
Yes.
So God, last week
Just,
was really
just to
interesting.
give a half a minute summary of where we ended up.
Last
Because
week,
God
yes.
made a statement at the end. Because you were saying that the whole issue of wealth is relationship, is connection. And we asked the question, what do you bring to the table? All right. And you gave a very succinct answer, your luggage. Okay.
Baggage.
Well, you
is
said
it.
baggage, and I use the word luggage because luggage has
It's a
it's
little more
good and
neutral.
bad because baggage is. But we made the point that sometimes at 50 plus, we have so much luggage. We
Mm.
wonder if there's room for anything else, and we have to decide what goes and what comes. And you brought up the word risk.
Yes.
Risk. So we finish off by now talking about how you deal with that risk, because people are saying, what if the other, and what if the other? And does that stop us?
Yeah, well, we talked about
Forward.
risk, and also, you remember, we talked about the challenge of accepting people as they are.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And, you know, that is a part and parcel of the risk
Yes.
issue.
Yes.
Because it is an easy thing to say that, you know,
And don't forget
I
the
love
naked,
you.
the naked in all its forms.
Yes, right. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you know, for sex, you must be naked.
And the heart, the pure heart.
Yes.
It
Well,
must
the
be.
pure heart, and, you know, all of those
Yeah.
things are intertwined. But, you know, I was going to say that the song says, I love you just the way you are.
Mhm.
And that is a beautiful and romantic notion.
Mhm.
And it is certainly, I think, that something that most people would welcome.
Yes.
You know, being loved the way they are. It means that there's no pressure on you now
Yeah. No
to
judgment,
change.
nothing.
And
Yes.
it's not a non-judgmental
Mhm.
position.
Mhm.
And some people say it's an ideal,
Mhm.
but it don't really mesh with reality.
Yes.
And I am saying that the ability to accept it's an enormous, you know, you have to have enormous capacity as a human being to accept somebody and put absolutely no pressure on them
No conditions.
to change. Because you know what is one change?
No checklist.
Right. No boxes according to Jen.
I still with my boxes. You have to convince me that I shouldn't have boxes. I'm yet to be convinced. No boxes.
And they say you are still living in a Newtonian frame when we have moved on to the quantum frame, when boxes do exist in the quantum frame. All right? But that's a whole next discussion.
Maybe I'm getting there.
All right?
Free.
But acceptance, I'm saying that
Yeah.
that it's, you see, you may overtly accept somebody,
Mhm.
and you may be genuine
Yeah.
in the statement that, you know, I'm accepting you just as you are. But, you know, we have a tendency to focus on flaws,
Mhm.
all right? And
And
leave all the
shortcomings.
other beautiful things that
Mhm.
surround it
Mhm.
out. You know, it's just
Mhm.
like if you have a little pimple on your face,
Mhm.
you have a beautiful face.
Mhm.
Yes? But when you look at that face in the mirror, you don't see the face.
Mhm.
See that.
You see the pimple.
Mhm.
All right?
Mhm.
And that is how we are as human beings. We tend to focus on the flaw.
Mhm.
And if you are focused on flaws, then the ability to accept somebody as they are is
Compromise.
significantly compromised.
Yes.
All right? So you have to find a way to focus on what you're supposed to focus on.
And is
All right,
that the
which is
balancing
the
of the
beauty.
risk?
Well, yes,
That's
because
the taking of the risk, that you take your eye off the floor
Well,
and you
well-
accept the rest?
well, the risk. Remember, the risk is twofold. It's cutting both ways. Because if I accept you as you are,
Mhm.
the risk that I am taking on board is that you will never change.
You know, that I'm not sure of that.
Okay.
If I accept you as you are,
Mhm.
and you do change, I expect some form of change. Let me put it like that. But then I'm not going in with that mindset.
You're not
I guess
demanding
I'm
it.
not demanding it. I think that is what.
Well, you see, most people would not demand it, but they will hope that it happens.
But
All right,
doesn't that
based
sound-
upon the flow. All right, you see, if the flow really rubs you the wrong way, if my flow really rubs you the wrong way, the capacity to ignore that flow on an ongoing basis is really questionable.
then you mightn't be in a relationship. But that's accepting you as you are. If I hear that statement, as you are includes your outlook on life, which will include your ability and acceptance of growth, of change, of whatever. So accepting you as you are means that if it's God, I know God is a seeker. His life is dynamic. If you accept me as I am, you know I'm an adventurer. I want to have different experiences, and whenever I have an experience, whether it's a different country, a different person, a different culture, different food, I grow with the change. So if you accept me as I am, then it means that you know me and you can, where it's predictable,
You know,
what can happen as a result.
Terry and I, as you all speak, reminds me of the vows people take when they get married.
For better or worse.
For in love, huh?
Yeah.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer.
Sickness and health.
Well, I wouldn't remember the rest, so that was so long. But the main thing is that to me, when they make those vows, it's saying what you're saying in it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
am going to accept you as
As
you
you
are.
are.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately for me, I don't know that many couples.
But it doesn't stop you from making the vows.
No. That's what I'm about to say. Who have made the vows and there weren't changes that they had to deal with. So my thing is, instead of getting in, and we're talking about intimate relationship in this case, instead of getting in, saying, I am taking you as you are, we should get in with the reality that, listen, there could be changes. Let's discuss it. Because I am noticing this about you at this stage. I'm accepting it because, you know what I mean?
It's
The other
not
things override.
Isn't that why
Well,
prenups
change-
have come into the contract?
Change is inevitable.
Right. And since change is inevitable,
And therefore, even when you make that acceptance, you should make that acceptance in the full awareness that change will come.
right.
It's not that it may come. That's my big point. All right? You don't hope that it don't come.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Because it's coming. That is the nature of life. That is the dynamic of life.
Good.
That people and things will change.
They will grow.
But
They
you
will-
see, the commitment, the vow is a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Is a commitment to an ongoing process.
Yes.
Okay? It is not a fait accompli,
Yes.
which I think is where people have the problem, that people regard the vow as a fait accompli.
Exactly.
But it is not. It
Mhm.
is a commitment to a process.
Yeah.
And the process is a process of growth.
Mhm.
And the growth is enabled by our intimacy, our being able to bear ourselves to each other,
And
not
that
just physically, but
And every
emotionally.
contract has
things
an
like-
And that
escape clause.
is what I feel need to be discussed
Mm.
prior to.
There should be
That
conversation.
commitment.
Well, conversation is a key.
Yeah, and we mentioned that in last
Right.
week, very
Yes.
early, we mentioned about having that open conversation
And
getting
engagement.
yourself,
Yeah, not
when you
just
say
not
say
dangling
naked, but
conversation.
really, yes.
Yeah,
And that
engaging
to me is would help
Mhm.
in building the relationship.
A
So when
conversation
that
about what, Jen? About the likelihood that if you change in a certain way, I'm coming out of this commitment.
No.
I would say no. For instance, if I am fortunate enough to meet this gentleman,
Yes.
to get into an intimate relationship, at this stage in my life at 50 plus,
Mm-hmm.
I may come with a lot of baggage.
Luggage.
As they say. Well, I am saying baggage because I'm not looking at the positive.
Very more comfortable with luggage.
Terry,
Because your luggage have baggage.
Terry
and
is a
things
married
like
woman. She's a married woman. Ours is luggage. I'm baggage. But what I'm saying is, I am aware of that too. Huh? I'm aware. And you or the other party, the lucky gentleman, would be aware or may not be aware. What we're discussing, I would say, what I would want to discuss is, listen, we are getting into this intimate relationship where we are making this commitment to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I feel I know certain things about me that just by being friends, I figure you may not appreciate.
Mhm.
And I lay my cards on the table.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I would want you to do the same.
Yes.
And then we discuss, we committed it. We
Mhm.
committed whether we dealing with it, whether we how we going about
Mhm.
addressing it
Right.
and building the relationship.
Mhm.
And from there, we both agree we could go ahead because we don't have to agree. There are certain things I may decide, as for instance, and I could share it with the listeners, with our followers. I have an issue with alcoholism and drug addiction.
Yes.
Right. It is a baggage from a previous relationship.
Right. And because of that baggage I'm bringing in, if that person, if I didn't know before and they tell me, you know what, I have that problem, then I know it is so strong, the baggage so heavy on me that I am not going to get into it. So this is what I'm talking about.
And I think that is to go with any relationship that you're getting in, because every partner or every person in a relationship, whether it's an intimate relationship or even a friendship, there are certain traits that you just will not tolerate. I agree with you on the issue of alcoholism. Another thing that if my husband were to become totally fiscally irresponsible tomorrow, let me tell you, we in the divorce court. I don't care what else you have with you.
I feel it's stronger on an intimate relationship, God. An ordinary relationship, if you'll go into, I wouldn't pay much attention to that. I could be very friendly with you, and you are an alcoholic. Because I know there's no intimacy at all.
Because not coming home to you. Not lying down in the
so I am okay. We could be very good friends. I mean, you can help us see how I can help
But those are not the types of relationships you're talking about.
No. I just covered intimate because I'm saying, for me, we just talk about intimate. And I am saying that we needed to connect, because when you spoke about you coming in and I am willing to take you as you are, I'm not unless we discuss it.
Well, you see, again, I come to your boxes.
Yeah, I'm
and then Newtonian position.
Yeah.
As against the quantum position.
Because
and what you are saying, position, just to make sure.
You are saying to put things that you are aware of on the table for discussion.
If I feel it would make a difference, yes.
But the real problems in relationships are not the obvious things.
Yeah.
The real problems in relationships is the unseen. Is the unconscious baggage that is being brought, that you, as the bearer of the baggage, may not even be aware of.
Yep.
Okay? And it is those unconscious things that become problematic, primarily because they are not visible. But even though they're not visible, they're impacting the relationship.
After I'm coming to you.
All right. So I'm saying.
Just second.
Yeah.
Give an example.
All right.
Of that unseen.
The unseen. Okay, so you may have had some issues in terms of how when you grew up as a child. You know, there may things have happened to you when you grew up as a child, when you were growing up as a child, which have influenced the way that you relate to people, especially perhaps people of the other sex. For instance, if you were growing up in a situation where you were subject to sexual abuse by a relative, unknown to your parents, okay, and that you were too scared to ever reveal that. Now, whether you reveal it or not doesn't change the reality of that experience and of how it sets you up in terms of your relationship with people of the other gender later on in your life. So that I'm saying, that is something which you will hardly, if you are entering into a relationship with another person, because it's lurking so much. As a matter of fact, there are instances where people shut it out completely. They don't even remember it. All right? So that I would say is an example of unconscious baggage.
Let me use another example.
No, wait. Well, I am.
All right. Go ahead. Let me use this example.
I am clear with what Garth is saying.
No, let me use backgrounds, and I could use this as my example. You may meet someone, you know them professionally, and you believe that we are of the same culture. But if someone is from a very rural background, and I am urban, if someone has grown up in an East Indian village, and I grew up in an Afrocentric area, if I came from a Chinese or Syrian heritage and you haven't, but we think we're so advanced, when we get together to live together, all kinds of things come up looking.
So,
and that is an example.
So I not disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I am sharing that and what we want to just move into other type of relationships here. In that, for
but I think
me,
we can say the risk is
intermediate relationships for anybody. My thing is whether you come into it, and I heard you what Katrin said. I am saying baggage in that for me, if you don't address your negatives,
you have to be aware of it to address
right.
it.
And I'm aware. That's why I'm saying. So if you don't address your negatives and cover it up and you know, nicely package it,
what you know out there,
you're going to get a problem. So you need to come one time, because I know most people know the positives. Oh yes, you're going to the positives.
And they know some of the negatives.
But you need to understand, and that's why. Well, true. But the thing is, if you don't know, it is important in any relationship. It is important in any relationship, but we are focusing especially intimate relationships to understand and go within to understand whether you have the baggage, luggage, however you want to call it, but understand yourself.
And that point you made is a good point, Garth.
So with that, Garth, and we again, our timing. So I just want to touch a bit too, because we are speaking intimate, and we got the views from people that, okay, if we're not in, what happened? And I just want to go in because our focus is the 50 plus. And I have found there are many of us who aging and don't have any friends. Because
intimate relationships are not the only relationships.
We didn't build that friendship, and I'm moving away, as I said, from intimate. We didn't build that friendship. We didn't have time for other reasons. And we find ourselves, especially as we are aging, not having anybody to lean on.
And
some don't even have families.
It becomes more acute. But you see, it becomes more acute, and I say more acute because it was always there. If you understand the nature of the universe, and you know, when we're talking about relationships, I can't remember I talk about this next week, but it bears last week, it bears repetition if I did. The universe is a pool, yes? As the best metaphor I can get. And every pebble that falls into a pool affects the whole pool. All right? So relationships then, I'm saying, are not optional. Whether we engage them or we don't engage them, they are a must. The nature of the universe demands.
You can't be alone. You can't be single. To do anything, you have to interact with another.
Relationships are inevitable.
In every transaction,
right?
Two parts.
Yes, at least two.
Yes.
All right? And therefore, the question is not whether or not you're going to have relationships. The question now is what is going to be the quality of the relationships that you have.
How do you maintain? What are the things that you need to do?
Let me just share something. I have met people, clients, who, with all the universe want them to do, have nobody they can pick up that phone and talk to openly. I'm talking about bearing your heart. I'm talking about being really honest and say, listen, this is it. I have no money at all to do this. I have, they have nothing because their family line is very short. So they have no brothers, no sisters. They are alone. And because of a lot of maybe insecurities, never really build that close relationship with anybody.
What are they to do, Jennifer? Because
what I'm saying is that
what are they to do?
The priority, our priority, every priority of every single human being is to cultivate high quality relationships. And I use the word very deliberately, cultivate, because all relationships require work.
What is the work? Because in our last 5 minutes, I want us to be able to allow everyone, I want us to be able to allow our audience and all those who will follow on YouTube afterwards to at least come away. I'm in a position, I don't have friends. I don't know how to maintain friends. What is it that we need to do? What's the work that
Okay.
needs to be done.
We talked about what you bring to the table,
Yes.
and that is relevant here. So the question is, what do I have to
Mhm.
give?
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
because it is in giving that you receive. That's
Absolutely.
the universe
Mhm.
is a reciprocal mechanism.
Mhm.
You give and you receive. You receive. You breathe
Yes.
in and you breathe out.
Yes.
All right.
And it's exchange.
It's always an
It plants
exchange.
on us.
Yes. All right. So to have a high quality relationship, you have to say, what do I have to give, and to whom can I give this? Yes.
And that's your friend.
And that's your friend.
So,
Wow.
All right. And to whom can I give it? And
What do I have
and
to
do I
give?
give
And
it?
to whom can I
And do I give it without expecting a return? Now, the return I'm saying is inevitable because the universe is a reciprocal mechanism. But I'm not giving it in order to get. There's a big difference. I give it; it is unconditional.
Then it becomes
I give
my
it,
friend.
You're right. You appreciate it.
So-
You do appreciate it. I still have to give, and therefore, because you see, a lot of us have relationships where it's all about what I can get from the relationship.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What I can get from this relationship is a low quality relationship.
Or what
in
you
my
have to
book.
give me.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The high quality relationship is where I am focused on enriching. I am focused on seeing how I
Yes.
can help you
Yes.
as another struggling human being on the planet to find your center,
Because
to
I
find
know
your
me.
purpose.
Because
Yes.
I know me.
Well,
I know what
I'm
I
finding
have
out
to give.
about me.
And I find the
So-
person who needs it, and that's my friend.
no, I am with you on that.
Mm.
My suggestion would be for those out there who find themselves, they don't have friends, and understand the need to have a circle of friends, especially as we grow old. Okay? And the friends could be filling friends within your family, family circle.
Yeah.
What you first need to do, as everything else, and that you mentioned, is to go with it. Huh?
Yeah, check yourself.
You have to check yourself first.
No,
and you
that's
have to love
inventory.
yourself first, because
Mm.
that is a big issue.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So check yourself and find things that you love about yourself and appreciate who you are. When you do that, you would understand also what you like and what you don't like. Because I wouldn't want to befriend somebody who not thinking like me
Mm-hmm.
and who don't have the same, the values, etc. So when I know this is who I am, and this is how I will feel comfortable, and the people I will feel, and the company I will feel comfortable, I would now know, okay, I would place myself in those situations where I can meet or make friends or befriend someone who I know would be thinking like me. So if I want to
So your
maybe,
friends are similar to you. You saying that?
well, I would say yes. I would say yes. I look for people who think like me, who have the same values. I cannot. I want to be friends.
Same values may not mean think like you,
Correct.
huh?
Correct.
Because
will
I
agree
have
with that.
friends
Well,
who are
Values are
very
important.
yes,
different
You see,
to me.
value is
But
a
the
foundational
values-
thing.
Same
Same.
values. When I talk values, I know my list of values,
Mhm.
and then my friends, yes,
Should have the same value.
yeah.
Yeah, but they may have different points of view.
Right.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. That's
Yes.
different. I'm
Yes.
not saying point of view.
So when you say
because-
think like you, it just
Right.
No,
sounded here.
think like me, meaning okay. And when it's just values, maybe you have the same likes and dislikes.
Say
Yeah.
let's agree on
And-
values.
No, I agree on
Uh-huh.
values, but I also agree thinking in a way. And when I say thinking, okay, I really relate in thinking to what I like to do.
Mhm.
And this
Things you like to do.
things I like to do. So, for instance, I may like to socialize,
Mhm.
and I have friends in different categories, right? I can say, well, okay, I will befriend that person because I know that person like to go the same places with me, etc. So the bottom line is understand, and this is what I would close with, Terry.
Yeah.
Understand who you are, appreciate and love who you are, and then from there you will be better able to relate to others. Right?
I wanted to see that
Yes.
a lot of what you're talking about there is operates at a non-verbal level.
Mhm.
You can have your boxes and things ticked off about the values that you have and the things that you like and so on. But when you meet people, for instance, this is why one thing I like about connections, about Connect 50 plus. Yeah, that it is providing an environment where people, a platform where people can
Yes.
step outside of the normal circle
Yeah.
and find people, because companionship, you're not saying it in so many words, but companionship is
It's
key.
critical.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
critical.
And very often when you meet people, I mean, we talk about your blood taking somebody, or you're getting bad vibes. Those are very real things.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is taking place at
God,
a
I think
non-verbal level.
it is great, and I think we have two beautiful. They're the same, but there are subtle differences in terms of, as Jennifer is saying, understanding yourself, because that's important. Because you have to associate with complementary. You can't go into a friction situation because you want peace. And I also really identify with your point of going inside, understanding what do I know of me that is valuable to share, and then finding the person who I can give that to is my friend. That resonates with me. So relationship is so important, and we are out of time, but I want to say that again, we're coming into the season of love. The last listen, I think Trinidad from September to March is the best time, because we have Christmas, we have Carnival, and it allows so many connections and so on. And I just want to remind everybody, when you go on our site, Utopia is coming. That is our Christmas get together. We want our audience to get an opportunity to let's meet each other. It's at the University Inn
friendship
on the 10th of November. A beautiful Christmas dinner. Tickets are out. Just inbox us and let's get to know each other. It's one thing to be talking on Facebook and WhatsApp and things like that. But this has been beautiful. You, as far as I'm concerned, everybody out there, I see lots of, let's say hello very quickly. Welcome, Mary. How are you? Catherine, great to see you. Jillian Ogilvy, nice to see you here. And Mark, all the others, because I know many, many people are looking, but we can't see them. You all are our friends. We really love each other. Catherine is saying part 3, friends. But this is the gist of connections in the end, and we want to say to everyone, thank you, friends.
Remain connected with us. We are your friends. Start with us.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay.